Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to Friday night. Sorry I was late. My groceries arrived promptly at 9 p.m. They were scheduled to get here at 7. You know, who saw that coming? Everyone. Everyone did. And then I had to run around and put them away, which really means I just shoved whole bags of food into my refrigerator. But now I'm here. And let's begin the relaxation. So, what's happening out there in YouTube land? It was super annoying, Grace Case. Like, ugh. And you know how Walmart puts like one item per bag, or none of the items in the bag go together? So, okay, before relaxation, and Mousy, we'll come back to that soda stream conversation. What do you got? What's going on? Let me catch my breath. You know how when you're rushing, it actually takes you longer? And if you would be like, just calm down and do this like a normal person. Oreo business. What's up with Oreos? Kirsten has not signed up for a flavor. Does she have? She only has 3 flavors, right? I don't know, Mrs. Cassandra. From my point of view, nothing's going on. I mean, I know a little bit, but like, it's been, I don't know, nothing's happening. Well, I guess I did watch that Rakita Law drama, which, by the way, he got his channel back. Who saw that coming? Everyone. Everyone saw that coming. So what flavors? What should I do for Kirsten, Grace Case? Hi, always createful. You want to boot her from the project? Oh no. What happened? Mousy, even Meatloaf saw it. You did have a terrible day, didn't you? Oh, I'm so sorry, Grace Case. Yeah, that is heartbreaking. Oh no. I didn't see that coming at all. I mean, at all. That's a real out of left field. Is that why she hasn't been around? I know, Mousy. Yeah. I'm not laughing at anyone. I'm laughing because, wow, that is uncomfortable and shocking. Are you okay? Is everybody okay? I can't really wrap my brain around that. I'm sorry. I'm a slow processor. Yeah. Rightfully so, Grace Case. Thanks, Mousy. She worked on it. I mean, do you want to tell the full story or you don't have to? I don't understand, which obviously I would think you really don't understand. This is you're not taking over anything. Hey, Friday night is about talking about what we need to talk about. If it is sad, then it's sad. If it's happy, then it's happy. But sometimes to get to the relaxing, we have to go through the pain. So don't ever feel bad about bringing something up here. I mean, yeah, it's getting it off your shoulders. I mean, she hasn't, was she here last week? I don't know. I mean, she's not signed up for anything. If she, we'll figure it out when she comes around because I don't want to boot anybody from the channel or anything, but I also don't want people to be uncomfortable when they're here. So, and I frankly have to wrap my head around the whole thing because that came out of left field for me. Yeah, I mean, she was here in one stream like a week or two ago. And then I hadn't seen her for a long time before that. So, I mean, I haven't seen her anywhere. That's a lot. I mean, I don't understand people. I really don't. It doesn't make sense to me. What? Why would she say that? See, this doesn't. Once again, it does not compute in my brain because why would you? Yeah, I do. This is Cassandra. It's like taking my thoughts away. I don't. I mean, there's certain people that if you said they're behaving this way, I'd be like, yeah, I can see it. But I did not see that coming. I mean, that would have been one of my last guesses. I wonder what hacked her off. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mousy, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, certain people, you're like, okay, I buy it. They wild out and stuff, but no. Cooking while listening to a stream, I find I don't do my best. Actually, I always leave my stovetop on as well. I don't. I don't know. And then, I mean, you found out today. What? That's ridiculous. First of all, everyone gives money of their own free will. And of all my years on YouTube, I've never seen you hold anything over someone's head. So, interesting. This is all interesting. It kind of clicks other puzzle pieces into place for me. I mean, I don't understand why she would choose you to go after. Well, I mean, Mousy, that's because everyone here is adults. Like, we know the whole world won't agree with us. What? I can't even wrap my head around. Get you out of what? Like YouTube? And if you stop liking someone, or it's like you've deemed it's time for your friendship to end, it doesn't. Just tell the person, like, you just break up with the person. You don't spread rumors and lies and do all that craziness. I don't understand. Do you think people get mad at you guys because you have fun? All right, I'm ready. I'm holding on. I feel like I need an alcoholic beverage. This is one of those conversations where I'm like, all right, we need to meet up at the bar, guys. We've got to talk this through. Well, I suppose she wouldn't explain why she was doing it. I don't think half these people know why they do things. All right, give me more. I'm holding on to my seat. See, my last real life best friend, we just sort of drifted apart. But it wasn't like big and dramatic or anything. We have never talked bad about each other. I feel like a chat got lost. So she left and then came back 2 weeks later to patch things up, even though nothing had happened. What? I can't even comprehend that. Why you? It doesn't. Just to F you over with other like people on YouTube? God, YouTube. Come on, humans of the world. First of all, you're not in junior high, everyone. Like, let's. That stinks, Grace Case. I don't even know what to tell you. 100% I think that is true. And I don't understand that. I mean, I think she's jealous you two got close. And then I think jealous too, because obviously, I mean, we all kind of roam the same chats. We also have chats that, I go to, you guys don't, vice versa. But when you can see everybody in the same chat, you see the people who are having fun and you see the people who are not. And I think sometimes the people who have fun draw the ire of the people who are not. And I definitely think people get jealous of like clicks and stuff. But who cares? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a jealous person. I think it's like awesome you guys are friends. Friendship should be celebrated. Yeah, Mousy, I think sometimes we get confused with like online people and online friendships versus real life friendships. But an online friendship can definitely become a real life friendship. I always grateful. I definitely think that's what it is. I think they get mad and jealous and when they see other people enjoying themselves. And then if you want, and just because two people become close doesn't mean they don't have room to be close with other people together and separately. And it's not, I don't know, it's not a personal attack when two people do something without you or talk or it's just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why the relationship of two other people would so greatly impact you. I don't get the Lilo and Stitch reference. Pull the Lilo and Stitch. It must be I don't know. But I'm firm on the jealousy thing. Man, what a what a twist to the tale that I did not see coming. What's the collateral damage? You can theorize. Stitch is a destructive little blue alien. Yeah, I would have, if I'd had to wager on what was happening, because you told me a little bit, but you never said a name or anything. So obviously I like speculated in my head, theorized, and boy, was I off. I mean, if I had wagered any cash, I would have lost it all. I wouldn't have even had that name on the board. That's so. What collateral damage do you think there is? It turns out that like what happens on YouTube is only about 5% of what's actually happening. person we talked vaguely about before was someone else. This one we were close. Oh. You going into that chat blew it up. And the creator has a bit of a polarizing reputation. Oh, really? You know what I say? Good on you for going into that chat. I mean, I don't know whose chat it was or whatever, but I appreciate people who don't hide and don't, I don't know. You know, the streams where they're like, well, we can't say a name, but here's a whole bunch of stuff and surmise who it is. I'm like, like, I know. You know what, Mousy? One of my skills is not telling. I mean, I don't know who it is either, but like not asking and not telling. See, Grace Case? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, put it out there. And also, if you have nothing to hide, then you will discuss it. You know, that's what I always say. Like, first of all, if I did something wrong or if I hurt your feelings or whatnot, I did not, most likely, I didn't intend to. I can't say that's always true because, I mean, I am a human, but let's talk about it. See what? And if you're mad at you two or whatever, like, just go away. Like, why do you have to come back and throw bombs? I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. And I feel like it's a part of the universe I may never understand. First of all, shouldn't be begging both sides not to say anything. Conversations that occur in private are private conversations. So this is my opinion. This is how I take it. This is how I operate. If you tell me something, it stops with me. And I don't discuss it with other people unless one, you discuss it with that person in front of me, or I will specifically ask you. I mean, if someone brings it up to me, I may respond to it, but I also will not divulge all, whatever. But I just assume that private conversations are private. Yeah, I've heard of her too, but I don't. Although she was on my guest list. Because I was trying to think of people that I vaguely know about. Yeah, she is like a lover or hater. I mean, I'm surmising that from what I've seen in other chats. And I mean, obviously you pick up on some stuff. I have no opinion because I don't know who she is. I'm sure I've been in chats with her. I just don't think I've ever interacted with her. Or if we have, it was about whatever the actual stream was about. You know what I mean? Yeah, Mousy, private DMs stay private. And what is everybody else doing in their DMs? Because my DMs are incredibly happy. I mean, sometimes we have serious conversation, but most of them are pure delight. You can't make everyone happy. See, maybe I'm fortunate because people have always, well, no. I mean, I'm like a polarizing person. I don't know why. But sometimes I run into people that just don't like me. And, you know, that's really their issue. But to have a friend turn on you like that, different story. Yeah, I don't either, Mousy. Usually mine are directly related. Like someone was like, oh, this is what I was talking about in stream. Here is that article or whatever. And then we have a little conversation. Man, Grace Case, that just sucks. Yes. Well, that's the whole thing. Like, what? Why would you do that? That takes more energy than me too. Always grateful. I'm like, it dies with me. I've had people get mad because I haven't passed info on. Like a friend of mine was pregnant and she's like, you didn't tell anyone? I'm like, that's not my business to tell. But I stand behind my behavior because, you know, if you come to me and talk to me about something, it stays here. I don't. Here's what I need explained to me. Why? like why? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just say, either one, go to the person that is upsetting you and say, this is upsetting me. I'm having these feelings. And then proceed from there. Yeah, maybe she's trying to burn herself down and she's just using other people to do it. Ugh, I bet that did stink, Mrs. Cassandra. Man, guys, what a day you've had. I'm so sorry. Well, you're here. That's what this channel is for us to run away from everyone else, have a safe space to talk, share our thoughts and feelings. No, we're not going to DM about it later. Jeez. I mean, I'm going to make an assumption that she has something going on in her personal life that is not positive, or it's making her lash out at others. I mean, I made that up completely, but I mean, this behavior has to come from somewhere. I don't know, guys. It makes me sad. Makes me sad for everyone involved. Because it didn't have to happen. That's what I don't understand. I don't know. I need a full-time therapist on call. Be like, please explain this human behavior to me. What is your good news, Mousy? Interesting. I can tell you my good news, which is also a little bit of bad news, but fun bad news, if that makes sense. So today I was out bopping around town doing my things, and I decided to treat myself to a frappe. And what happened? They made the wrong flavor. So they corrected it, and then they gave me both frappes. And I took them. And I do not know why, because that is too much frappe. So I had 2 frappes, which seems exciting, but I couldn't eat them both or drink them both. So good news, I got a free frappe. Bad news, I threw it in the garbage. It was still fun to happen, though. I did not drink both. That's too much. 1 frappe is too much. It's like too much sugar. And you know when you consume, you're like, my stomach will be upset later. I don't think that works. Also, I don't need 2 frappes. You know what I mean? Like, I know. I did take 1 sip out of it to taste the flavor. It was okay. I don't even know why I took it. Because essentially, I knew when I accepted it that I was just saying, I'll throw this away for you. But I did. Oh, I don't think there's real dairy in this one. Your skin is cleared up? That's amazing. That's got to feel great. Oh, yeah. From all the meds and anesthesia and stuff. I'm a mocha fan, Mrs. Cassandra. But they made a caramel for me. Also not my favorite flavor. I mean, that's too sweet. The mocha is too sweet. Like, I have to really be in the mood. But yeah, see, I am like coffee and cream. I usually just put milk in my coffee because milk's real sweet. And I don't add sugar or anything. So even when I make iced coffee, it's just coffee and milk, no sugar. Yeah. I mean, I love coffee. I don't drink it very often, though. I've been struggling a little with dry skin lately, too. And I have really been moisturizing. I've tried the chocolate milk in there, Mrs. Cassandra. Not my favorite. You think it would work, but it doesn't. I mean, my favorite is to get like whipping cream and use that, a little splash of that in my coffee. But I don't do that because I have milk in the house for, whatever. So instead of buying like all the creamers and stuff, I just use the milk. Oh, you know what I was craving earlier? Movie theater popcorn. No, coffee doesn't like me either, Mousy. Well, I'm glad you cried and let it out. Because keeping that stuff in, not good for you. Always Grateful, my friend does that. And it is delicious. And I can't get the mix correct the way she does. So I don't know what she does different. Or maybe it's just that like it feels like a special treat because her and I do a lot of like we have a little lake by our house that we go to and she'll make coffee and I'll make breakfast sandwiches for us and we go sit by the lake and have breakfast and chat. So maybe it just feels more delicious when she makes it. Sometimes I put cinnamon in my coffee grounds though and brew it, and that's delicious. Yeah, try the cocoa in your coffee. She does it when she brews it though, like she adds it in with the coffee grinds. And then we were just talking about this week because it's starting to get colder. And we always get a bottle of Bailey's in the winter. And we get her son to drive us around and we drink like spiked coffees and we make Christmas treats and we drive around and look at Christmas lights and drink our spiked coffee. Her son loves it. Yeah, whipped cream and coffee is the best. See, I can't get the portions correct when I put the hot cocoa in the coffee. It's really fun. You should do it. And we have great streets around here. There's this one guy. There's a street that for like every holiday they block it off, and then every house on that street decorates. It's wild. Are you telling me to Google how much hot coffee or hot chocolate to put in my coffee? I'll just leave it to my friend. She buys the good hot chocolate though. I don't really know what that means. It's not Swiss Miss or whatever. It's oh my gosh, candy store gym update. I have a video. Do you want to see it? Where did I put the video? Oh. Mousy helped with this. Mousy, I can't see my video. Wait, let me refresh. In shocking news, everyone, the video I uploaded did not upload. Let's try it again. Mosey, why can't I see that video I uploaded? It did not upload. Let me try it again. Upload a video. There it is. Choose a part of the video. Next. Oh. Hang on, guys. I'm doing stuff I should have done before the stream. Upload. Uploading to your videos. It says uploaded. I bet I closed my phone too quick last time. I sometimes do that. I'm like, well, I'm done. And then I shut it down in the middle of doing whatever I just asked it to do. Oh, is it because it's Duh, I'm ridiculous. Guys, turns out it did upload the first time. I just didn't go look at it in the right place. Hang on, now I can't see all of you. Mousy, what's your next exciting news? Is it that you taught me how to upload videos to my YouTube channel? Oh, it's your kid's birthday. Oh, you have more screenshots? Oh, you told me she got her job. But that is still cool. Grace Case and Mrs. Cassandra are distracted. So we will talk over here. And that is awesome. And she said she's loving where she lives. I'm excited about that. Hey, you know what? Oh, no, Grace Case. That is perfectly cool. Always grateful she got a job as a cake decorator. Isn't that cool? She's going to love it. She's the creative sort. Did she already start, Mousy? That's awesome. Hey, I just realized something. Yeah, I am not good at cake decorating either. I'm really not even good at frosting a cake. But you know what? I've kind of figured out my problem. I don't I don't let the cake cool enough. First of all, absolutely an issue. And second of all, I don't particularly care. Like I kind of enjoy my rustic little crummy cake. She's a all of Mousie's kids are really creative. And then then they make us feel bad because they're like, duh guys, this is how you do something. Bing bong bong. And they make awesome stuff, and Mousy and I are like, we still cannot make banners for our YouTube channels. It's not my skill. It is a lot of patience. I mean, I'm a good baker, but I'll never be a great baker because I just, not that I don't care, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I do an adequate job. I'm pleased with my skill level there. So I don't try and learn more. Oh, that's a good idea. I really only bake one cake a year. It's a carrot cake, and it is good. So my mom made my brother a carrot cake for his birthday every year. And after she died, one of the first things he said was, "Oh, no more carrot cake." So I have all her recipes, and I dug through them all, and I think she had like 3 carrot cake recipes, and I started testing them. And I worked in an office at the time, so I would take a carrot cake in every Monday and be like, all right, I'm going to need feedback on this carrot cake. And it took me a lot of cakes before I'm like, this is it. This was her carrot cake. Yeah. Well, also because my mom would go by the recipe, and some of her recipes, she'll be like, I didn't do this at all. Add like a teaspoon of orange juice or what, like her weird little things that make the recipe your own. So I knew with carrot cake, I mean, how much can you deviate from the recipe? But it was cinnamon content. I had to really up that. And then my frosting. So I'm like real proud of this. I'm like, I think I've nailed my mom's cake, right? And I give it to my brother, and he's like, it was awesome. I do have some feedback for you though. Not enough frosting. So I had to double the amount of frosting I put on it. So every year I make him a carrot cake. Even when he makes me real mad, I'm like, here's your cake, you jerk. And I have my mom's cake tin that it was always sitting on the counter with it in it. And he does wash it and return it to me every year. So I'm like, you can act tough, but you like that cake. Yes, always grateful. Well, and I have recipes that kind of make me laugh. When I first moved out on my own, and I would call my mom and ask her for how you make, I don't know, like, Mom, how do you make your macaroni and cheese? And she would say, okay, you add this until it looks right. And I'd be like, what does that mean? And she's like, you'll know because it'll look right. But now I do know. My mom always made me an ice cream cake. And it had coffee ice cream, cinnamon ice cream, and chocolate ice cream in layers. And then slivered toasted almonds, and you pour a little Kahlua over it. Delicious. And she had to hand make this cinnamon ice cream. I have some of my mom's. Ooh, a Black Forest cake. See, and when you only have the cake once a year, it like tastes better. My mom would never make a box cake. My mom didn't like to cook things that came in boxes. Like macaroni and cheese, I just said, I used to beg her when I was little. I'd be like, please, can I get a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese? And she would be like, that is disgusting. No. She's like, I make homemade macaroni and cheese. Why would you ever want that box stuff? Oh, that's cool. Always creative. I don't have much of my mom's stuff. It is a complex story of why. Mostly, it's my brother's fault. Yeah, my mom was not a great cook. She's a pretty good baker. Her specialty was bread. She made amazing bread, and she did not use a bread maker. Like, she did it. I suppose my cooking is like on par with hers. Like, we know what we're doing. And some of our stuff is really good, but like, you know, I don't know. I'm not a bad cook. Sometimes I'm a really good cook. See, now my mom made me. I'm the real mac and cheese person. And it's one of my specialties. That's what people ask me to make. But you know what my secret is? Not bread crumbs on top. I tear pieces of bread. So they're like big croutons almost. Delicious. Do just give it a whirl. Maybe I'm a better cook than I think, because then I was trying to think of other stuff that I make. Get this nonsense. A friend of mine had to go to a potluck, and he calls me and he goes, "Hey, will you make that fruit salad you make for my potluck?" And I was like, "What?" At first, I fell for it because I like was complimented that he liked my secret fruit salad mix, and then I was like, "What? No, I'm not making that for you. Make it yourself." I do like making um I don't know. I kind of like making stuff with yeast that you have to let it rise and everything. It feels very magical. And it's fun to go back and check it. Like pull your dish towel off the top and be like, "Oh, it rose." I mean, logically, I know how the science works, but how does it work? That's amazing. And it's amazing that humans figured that out. What a world. I mean, can you imagine the brains that came up with it? That is cool. My brain does not work that way. Mousy, I just killed a plant and it was a gift from someone. I haven't broke it to them yet. But my friend and I she recently got into plants. She used to always call me if she owns an estate sale company. And so she would go into houses and be like, these plants are almost dead. Do you want them? And I'd be like, absolutely. I'll be right there. And then for some reason, I think maybe the pandemic, she started getting into plants. And so she would always like send me pictures of her plants, be like, what do I do with this one? What's happening here? And now I think she has like beat me because I don't know too much. I mean, I know enough to keep them going and thriving, but I'm not super knowledgeable. And we share cuttings a lot of our plants, like when we propagate. So she was every once in a while she'll drop off a little like plant for me on my front porch. It's kind of a fun thing we started, like where we leave you just leave a little treat on the other person's porch so you'll come home and be like, oh, a little plant. But she dropped off a fern and man, I took that fern down. I cooked him. I think I gave him too much food. He looks awful. I don't think he's going to recover. And I'm a little bit embarrassed. And like she's not going to be mad at me. It's a plant, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to confess I killed her gift. So ridiculous. Ooh, are you going to grow a coffee tree? I don't even know what that means. A little fern, dirty Uncle Sal. That's who I overfed. Dude, baking bread is cathartic. Or cinnamon rolls. I mean, my mom used to make these giant cinnamon rolls. I mean, as big as the palm of your hand. Ridiculous. And I make them. And my friend's son, when he was real little, I mean, they were as big as his head. And he would sit and eat them, and he'd always go, these are so good. So it boosted my ego with the cinnamon rolls. But a lot of stuff like that, like, I have to make it when I know other people are going to be around because I can't. I mean, one of them and I'm good. Then are you going to roast your own coffee, Mousy? Because I'm here for that. How's it going, Dirty Uncle Sal? So what else is happening, everyone? I haven't made those cinnamon rolls in a really long time. I should make those. I was trying to think of. I know some amazing stuff happened this week, and then I get on here and I'm like, I don't know, nothing happened. Isn't Twitter irritating every night, Sal? I feel like I'm going to have to roll over to Twitter and catch up on what's happening. Ugh. There's a big plant sale tomorrow, Mousy. We were talking about going to it. I'm trying to resist. Hey, Sal, you know what I need your help with? You said you make delicious fajitas, but you have to make them again so you can get your recipe. Could you make fajitas soon, please? Oh, and Therese is not here. I was gonna tell her either Saturday or Sunday for sure. I'm making her chili recipe. Yes, always grateful. That is, I think it's because I don't know. I don't know why that is pleasant because it doesn't really take your brain. It takes just enough brain power to distract you from life. And it's gentle and pleasant. Thanks, Sal. That would be awesome. Because my last attempt at fajitas was a disaster. I couldn't even eat them. They were so bad. Oh, yeah, I saw Loretta Lynn died. I couldn't tell you a song she sang. Although I bet if you played one, I could sing it. Ooh, excellent, Sal. Thanks. Yeah, I have a lazy way of making them too. They're kind of one of my lazy meals. But I also love them. I keep saying I need to do a recipe swap stream where we come in here and talk food, get inspiration. You can get tips for. You know how sometimes you're like, something is wrong with what I'm doing here. Like, here's a question for my recipe stream. I made this roasted red pepper pasta sauce, and it was good, but it was missing something. But I don't know what. Like, it needed. I don't know. It was too. It was exactly what you picture if you're like, oh, a roasted red pepper liquefied on top of pasta. And you're like, well, I mean, of course it's delicious. It's pasta and red pepper. But it wasn't. No, maybe Monday or Tuesday, Mouse. I do have an aversion to salt, Sal, and that is how I messed up my fajitas. And it was so, it was awful. I do not know. Well, part of it was I bought a specific fajita seasoning because sometimes I make them like I call them fast food fajitas because I buy like the frozen chopped up peppers and onions, and then I add an extra onion and a couple jalapenos. Throw those in with chicken in a skillet, and then I just throw in seasoning. But I bought seasoning from my local butcher shop, which I thought would be good, and turns out it's salt. I don't remember. It's been a while since I made that pepper sauce. But it was fun because I had somebody over for dinner, and it was the first time I made it. So I was analyzing, what I thought about that. Because usually if I get a recipe, I make it the way it's listed the first time, and then I figure out what I want to tweak about it. I mean, besides the normal tweaks you make, because you just like it better that way. But I started analyzing the sauce, and the person who was here was like, I'm glad you said that because it is missing something. Like in my mind, it needed like a spicy sausage or something. Like it needed some, I don't know. Well, sometimes I make my own steak and chicken strips and then freeze them because I can't find prepackaged ones that I really like. Yeah, the fajita seasoning I got. I mean, I should have read the package. I mean, the first ingredient listed was salt. And I went kind of heavy-handed with it because I couldn't smell it. Like, you know how you should smell fajitas? And then I took a bite of it and I knew I had ruined. I mean, I ruined it. And I did eat one fajita from it, and I felt gross for like 3 or 4 days. Like after I ate it, and I had to, by the end of the fajita, I was like choking it down. I thought I was going to throw up. It was too salty. And then I was like, I'm going to have a heart attack. I felt like a deer at a salt lick. It was so gross. Really? That's an interesting solution. I do that every once in a while, Mousy. Bounce myself. Ooh, yes, maybe that is a good idea. Because it was very one note. It needed something else. I mean, it was good, but it was sort of like a kid's version of a pasta sauce or something, if that makes sense. Which I don't think you should make different food for kids, but Yes, dirty Uncle Sal. And mine was salt. I threw the whole seasoning thing away. Yes, I did blister my peppers. I forget garlic, onion. I don't remember what seasonings I put in. I mean, it was good, but it could have been better. If that makes sense. But I've never figured out the right way to make it better. I'll find the recipe and present it to you. You know what another recipe I'm looking for? Does anybody make roasted red pepper soup? Because I can't find what I'm looking for. I mean, I keep trying different recipe after different recipe. I mean, I guess that's kind of a fun problem to have. I'm like, good news, everybody. It's roasted red pepper soup night again. I don't really do tomatoes too much. That's why I'm always with the roasted red peppers. And I mean, of course, I love them. Teresa, you're here. I was looking for you a little bit ago. I officially have all my chili ingredients, and it is go time either tomorrow or Sunday night for me to make your recipe. It's on my meal plan. So we should have a review next week. Oh, you know what? I'm always grateful. I almost made onion soup today, but you got to start the onion soup early. And I thought of it too late. I think I will like it, Teresa. I'm excited for it. And I've discussed with a few people my technique and I think I figured out where I'm going wrong with my chili. So I'm making a few adjustments there, which are what you said to do. I don't know. It'll be fun. I'm excited. Onion soup is I don't really like veggie soup. It's okay, but onion soup is one of my favorite foods. Teresa, I always drain the grease. And I was thinking about my groceries, but I'm ready. I'm excited because also my chili is just less than stellar. I mean, it's always edible. It's always good, but you're never going to go home and be like, boy, I can't wait for her to make another pot of chili. Yeah, but I'm hoping to change that with Teresa's recipe. The onion soup does take a long time. You got to be on it in the morning. If not, if you get distracted a little bit, because I make it makes so much, and then you have to let it cool down before you can put it in the fridge overnight. So that is a morning endeavor. But man, does your house smell good when you're cooking it. And then I watch these YouTube channels make onion soup because that has taken me a long time to get my recipe right. But I watch them make it and serve it right away, and that is not how I make mine. Like, I cook mine for 6 hours, 8 hours, I don't remember how long, all day, forever, and then refrigerate it overnight before I serve it. So I don't understand how these people are making their onion soup so quickly. I never use bacon. I'm not really a bacon person. I mean, I don't hate bacon, but I don't buy bacon. Always createful. That's a genius idea. Keep water bottles frozen, and after the soup has been turned off for about 10 minutes, stick in a couple of frozen water bottles. That never occurred to me. I always let that darn giant pot of soup sit on the stove until right before I went to bed. Oh my gosh. That's like you you semi changed my life with that. I'm like, I could have made the soup today. Because if I don't start the onion soup, early, it never cools down. And then you're waiting to go to bed until the soup is cool enough to put in the fridge. Or you think, I'll just leave it out till morning and refrigerate it tomorrow. I do like my chili a little thicker. Only because later in the week, I like to make like chili dogs or chili cheese burritos. It didn't come up, Grace Case. A link didn't come up. Oh, okay. Always grateful. That makes sense. Yeah, because I watch them and I'm like, there's no way your onion soup took half an hour. Come on. I'm like, I'm sure it's delicious, but I mean, it's like a 2-day affair to make the good stuff. And I still remember the first time I had onion soup. I was little. I don't know if little, like junior high maybe. And I was at my friend's house and her mom was making it. And I stayed for dinner and it was so good. And I came home and asked my mom if she would make me onion soup. And she's like, I did not know you would enjoy that. Absolutely. And I got onion soup into my family's meal rotations. So you're welcome, family. But that's it. You know how delicious a meal is for you to remember it like 30 years later? Like, I remember when Mrs. Carlson made that soup. And it sounded like such a. I mean, because onion soup is really just like onions and broth. You're like, how's that going to be delicious? Turns out it's amazing. Oh, dirty Uncle Sal. That's why you got to make a list before you go to the store. I know. Yeah, I think unless you're a moderator, like YouTube doesn't even let you post a link anymore. You've never made onion soup, Teresa? It's good. I mean, I'm sure you've had it, but to make it takes a long time. Me too, dirty Uncle Sal. I've been on a real roll. But that's why I made my meal plan. I'm like, you need to focus. Bring it down and focus. Okay. Let me get it, Grace Case. Do you want me to show it or do you? Yes. Roasted tomato and red pepper soup. Okay. Stay tuned. I'm putting that on. Do you guys want to watch it? I wonder if they put beer in the soup. I put wine in mine. Sherry. Oh, you know what I forgot, guys? The whole thing. I'll let it go. Let me. And I'm pulling this up. I'm pulling up. Okay. Now, I have a bakery by me that will make the sourdough bread bowls. So sometimes I go get those when I make onion soup. They just do videos for fun. That's the way it should be. Okay. Oh, wait. Let me. All right. Oh, you guys can see it. Okay. Can you hear this?
Season, it's always a good idea to have an easy recipe to turn to. This roasted tomato.
Could you guys hear that? Yes. Guys, look at me sharing a video. That's my good news of the week. Okay. Do you guys want to watch this? Roasted tomato and red peppers. You already said yes. I'm playing it. Ready? Let's learn.
Tomato and red pepper soup is one of my favorites. Depending on how much you want to be making, you'll need a lot of tomatoes. I have 5 large tomatoes and 2 bowls of cherry tomatoes.
That is a lot of tomatoes.
I'm going to be using some fresh herbs, olive oil, onion, shallot, garlic. I had a little leftover piece of a yellow pepper, 1/2 of a red bell pepper, herbs of Provence, salt, pepper, and chicken broth. To start, I'm putting my 5 large tomatoes into my pot of boiling water. I'm going to leave them here for 10 seconds so that they'll be able to be easily peeled. Then I'll plant.
I'd just like to comment, look how freaking awesome these cabinets are. All right. All I'm saying.
Take them out and plunge them into a cold bath and peel them once I can handle them. It's been about 10 seconds, so now I'm taking them out. While I've been waiting for my tomatoes to cool, I've done a rough chop on my peppers, onion, shallot, and garlic. I've also taken my cherry tomatoes and cut them in half. I'm not peeling the cherry tomatoes. You don't need to peel the cherry tomatoes, only the large tomatoes. So now my tomatoes are cool enough that I can handle. Tomatoes can be traced back to the Aztecs in 700 AD. Therefore, it is actually considered to be a native of the Americas.
Really?
It wasn't really until the 16th century when the explorers carried the tomato seeds back to Europe that it became popular in Europe. But at that time, tomatoes were considered poisonous and were most often used as a decorative plant, an ornamental plant. For wealthy people, they loved to have a tomato plant to show off, but they didn't eat the fruit. It was said that Thomas Jefferson was probably the first person to actually grow tomatoes in the 1700s at Monticello. And tomatoes really didn't become popular as a fruit until the 19th century. Now it's the backbone of so many recipes, Italian as well as other Mexican and other ethnic foods. We can't imagine our life without the tomato.
That is
All of our
fascinating.
ingredients have been piled onto this cookie sheet. And now we're going to add our seasoning, which is about a half a teaspoon of coarse salt. I always use kosher salt. About a teaspoon of pepper. My ever-present herbs of Provence, can't cook without these. And now just a slight dousing with olive oil to coat them lightly. And I'll kind of toss them in a minute after I add my fresh herbs and my fresh oregano and marjoram over the top. Now lightly with my hands, I'm just going to kind of just move these tomatoes and things around on the tray. And now they're ready to go into the oven, a preheated 400-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Into the oven, these beautiful vegetables go. 12 to 15 minutes. Beautiful tray of tomatoes and peppers have roasted for 15 minutes at a 400-degree temperature. Then I turn the heat off and let them just sit in the oven to cool until they're easy for me to handle. So now I'm going to transfer these vegetables into my blender in batches. You can see that some of them have even browned a little bit and blackened in spots, and that's exactly what you want. And now I'm going to just blend them in batches. Blending in batches at high speed. Now I'm going to transfer this first batch into a jar, and then I'll finish up with the last batch. All right, I finished blending all of our roasted vegetables and tasted it for seasoning, and it's absolutely delicious. And now I'm filling a mason jar. At this point, this mixture is a perfect tomato sauce to keep in the refrigerator or the freezer to be used for pasta, pizza, or soups, or anything you want. It'll keep for quite a while. So it's really a 2-in-1. You can make this wonderful tomato mixture and keep it as a sauce, or you can go to the next step and turn it into a soup. I'm making and toasting some croutons, just chunks of bread, drizzled with olive oil and cooked over a flame until they're crispy. I'm going to serve this tonight with our beautiful roasted vegetable soup, which it will be just for the two of us. We're going to have for dinner tonight. So I started with 2 cups of the tomato mixture, to which I added 1 cup of chicken broth, which will give us a lovely bowl of soup this evening, topped with the croutons and a salad. It's a perfect meal.
That is the perfect meal.
Building your business online?
Well, that looks delicious. And also, I want to make it immediately. And I forgot for a moment that I was streaming when I was watching that. You know what really intrigued me? First of all, thank you for the tomato facts, because that was awesome. Yeah, I could totally do that. I mean, the longest time is the baking time, roasting time, I suppose. But I love, like, as a pizza sauce. How genius. I'm making it. Add that to my list. I had a PB&J today as well. But that's for lunch, and that is what I did. I like the history buff. And I was waiting for it. I mean, didn't realize what a comeuppance tomatoes had. I mean, because they're in the nightshade family, right? That's why people were. It's also why they make people sick. The little tomato they could. I know. That was a great video. Thanks for sharing that. Cooking sometimes takes patience, but like that was really fast. That's my kind of meal too, where you're like, well, I don't really have to do anything. And for some reason, I thought it was really cute when I also have this little piece of yellow pepper, so it's going in. Because sometimes I do that with all my like veggie bits that are about to go bad. I call it refrigerator garbage. And I'm like, just throw it in a skillet, season it up. You can serve it over rice. You can put it in a tortilla. It's delicious. Yeah, okay, I get that, Mrs. Cassandra, because I probably don't have that patience either. I cook a lot of things where I can leave the kitchen. I'm like, that needs to take care of itself in there. I'll be back in a while to check on it. That's fun that they make those videos. I gave them a like. They have 450 subscribers. 457. I can read. $458. Boom. I think, but videos like that are the best videos to like learn how to cook. Have you ever watched the Italian grandma cook? I like her. I like her because she's like, I don't know, you just do it. And then she'll like, stuff will fall apart. And she's like, that happens. It's like pinches dough back together or whatever. Oh, they almost are to the community tab. I don't look at my subscribers at all. I do look at my watch time. That's where I always set my goals. I like the cooking videos too. That's what I on Saturday morning I like to get up, make a good breakfast, make delicious coffee, and then I watch cooking videos and eat on the couch, which is like I don't normally do. But it feels really luxurious. And I for some reason I always watch cooking. That would be weird if you watched cooing videos. Oh, she does at least once a week? That's cool. Do do you have any recipes, like family recipes that you dread that come out at like the holidays? I mean, RV cooking is just regular cooking, but your oven's smaller. So, side note, when you have a small oven like that, it bakes faster. Because RVs have regular kitchens. I mean, you could make an RV cooking video. Cooking videos. I watch a lot of them. Yeah. I do not have Food Network anymore. So I had to turn to YouTube for my cooking videos. But I do like watching a cooking video. Oh, she should do tablescaping. Although I don't tablescape. I mean, I'll put candles in the middle of the table, but that's all you're going to get from me. I will. I don't know. That's like, do you ever have those things you want to be into it, but you're not into it? Tablescapes are one of them for me. Mousy, you could just do in general RV living. Yeah. See, I do plain white candles in the middle of my table. I'm like, here you go. I mean, I do love, and I have some little candle holders. You know when you go to a pizzeria and they have, or like a dark Italian restaurant, like, and they have like the red candles in the middle of the table? I have some candle holders like that. And so when we make pizzas, I'll be like, it's pizza night. I'm getting out my pizza candle holders. It just makes the meal fun. I enjoy that you call it cooking over fire instead of grilling. You're like, it makes it sound more exciting. You're like, no. I'm cooking over fire, everyone. That's hilarious. Well, I'll have to check those out. See, now I'm stuck on the tablescapes. You know what else? I hate placemats. I mean, I understand the point of them, but I hate them. What do you want to put there as a centerpiece? Well, RVs have air conditioners. But grilling is just tastier. I guess you are in a little tin can now. I don't know what white ironstone is. Or do I? Let me Google it. Oh, got it. I do know what that is. Are your cats allowed on the dining room table? Because my cat never was. I mean, he got up on there every day, so. And I will tell you, I have really been letting my guard down about things like you're saying with the centerpiece. I'm like, I can bring lilies in my house. I can just set stuff everywhere. I'm like, I am in for a rude awakening if I ever get a pet again. because I'm just taking the trash out. I leave the door open, wide open, walking in and out. Oh, yeah. That will draw the cats to the center of your table, Grace Case. I mean, mine weren't allowed on the table or the counters either. And when I moved in my house, I have a gas stove. And I walked in my kitchen and my cat got he was up on the counter wandering around. And he got hung up on the gas stove and tripped on the burners. Trying to get down. But then a few months later, I walk in there and bust him again. And he briskly navigated that stovetop. And I'm like, you've clearly been training. Yeah, exactly. Grace Case. I'm like, he just knows not to get up there when I'm in the same room. Although sometimes I dump my clean laundry on the dining table and fold it there. And every once in a while I wouldn't notice because he would get up and sleep in the clean laundry. And I would walk by it multiple times and not see him. So he had a way of freeze framing himself that I just completely wouldn't notice him. I'd be like, come on, man. Dude, they know. They are. Oh, they're so good getting out those doors. And that's. Because that's my big thing. When I take out the trash now, I'm like, look at this. Just. Whoosh, or carrying in groceries. I'm like, I'm just. Coming on in. And I can go set everything down before making sure the door is securely closed. It's a different world. But it's kind of nice. But I would still, rather have a Chonko trying to escape. I'm going to tell you a terrible story. One time my cat was missing for 3 days before I noticed. Now, in my defense, I was young. It's in my 20s. And he got out. I went out every night. And then the first night I stayed home. And I would like to say I had another cat at home that did not inform me the other cat was missing. So that is a sign that I should not have been a pet owner at that time. And I cried really hard that it took me that long to notice. Well, thanks to global warming always grateful, it barely snows anymore. At least where I live. And if it does snow, 24 hours max, you're free to go outside, wander the world. It's gone almost instantly. You know what, Teresa? It is cold where I am too. Tonight is our first frost advisory. I had to close my windows. I'm real sad about it. But only 2 nights of being cold. And during the day tomorrow, I can open my windows again. It's supposed to get in the 30s at my place. Which it feels like it's too early for that, but I don't think it is. I don't know. Oh, Chonko, You know what? My cat, Grace Case, did not meow. And I locked him in my entryway closet one time. And when I came home, not a peep from him. Didn't say anything. He didn't meet me at the door, so I knew something was wrong. And that was the day I learned to check all the closets. But he also learned how to open every door in my house. So, like, we had a closet that we actually fought over because I like it closed and he liked it open, and I don't know why. And it would drive me crazy because I could hear the doorknob click. And what's funny is I would like pick up the room and close the closet door. And then he would come walking by and you could see him be like, oh, who closed that door? And he would go open it. Like, and it was my response was like, oh, why did he open that door? Like, we were equally frustrated with each other's door position choice. See, I mean, October was always like Halloween, it was always raining and chilly. Like, it was cold enough that you're always mad you had to wear a coat over your costume. But I feel like the frost, I don't know though. Maybe this is on par. We don't really get snow until like January. Although it doesn't snow. It used to snow when I was little. And it doesn't really snow anymore. I mean, it will sometimes, but even when they call for snow, it's nothing. We get more ice now. Teresa, I fell last year on ice on my driveway trying to pick up branches from that giant tree out there. And I had to go out to this big patch of ice. And I fell. And then I couldn't get back up because any limb that I set down like shot out from underneath me. And I started doing that. Like, I started freaking out. I'm like, I can't get up. I can't get up. And I had to be like, stop it. Stop moving. Calm down. Stop. And then I crawled over to my neighbor's yard and got up. But I was really, it probably would have been hilarious to watch, but I was like panicking for a minute, just thrashing around. And I'm like, no one will even be able to get to me to help me. And I was like, stop moving. You're okay. It's okay. Get good boots, Teresa. Yeah. I'm like, I don't really, if it's a bad weather like that, I don't go out because I'm like, it's not necessary. But it doesn't really have bad weather around here anymore. We're sort of, it's weird. The weather is different than it used to be. Oh, I didn't think about that. Fill your pockets full of rock salt. Just throw it in front of you. I use cat litter. I used that salt one time at my house and it got drug all inside. I said, never again. Oh, no, you can't. I don't wear regular shoes, but only because I have a nasty scar on my foot. And I can't find shoes that are comfortable to wear for long periods of time because it pushes on the scar. And every year I say I'm going to try and find shoes. And every year I do try. And it always ends up with me spending a fair amount of money, not being successful, getting really mad and crying, and then giving up. And I'm like, back to flip-flops and slippers. Oh, compression stockings. That's a good idea. Is plantar on the bottom and dorsal? It's the back of my foot. Like, if you picture how your foot sits on the floor and picture a knife standing upright on the floor, if you just sliced up the back of your heel, up the back of your leg. So the whole back of my heel like became a flap of flesh and they sewed it back on. Does that make sense? It's a big like smiley face on the, yes, exactly, the Achilles. I cut the back of my foot up to the Achilles tendon and about a couple inches of the tendon was showing. So it's like a smiley face on the back of my foot, but it sticks out. Like it's a scar, like a fatty scar thing. And a nurse one time said, I bet we could just cut that off. And I was like, no, that's horrific. But it's because it like protrudes out so much. That's what bothers me. So it'll hurt there. And then what I end up doing is like shoving my foot down into a shoe. And then it squeezes my toes. Probably have okay, now I gotta Google that. It's not, I mean, sort of. So the scar itself is not huge. I mean, picture like a flap of skin. They did have to cut off part of the skin because they didn't get to me in the ER for a while and like the skin dried up. But the flap part is what is, maybe, can it be like underneath regular skin? Because it does, I mean, you would notice it. If you're behind me, you'd be like, what's wrong with her foot? But I mean, well, that's a bold statement. I don't know if you would. Yeah, I would. Like if you're looking at my feet, you're like, what? That's weird. Why does it stick out right there? Oh my gosh, every single ligament and tendon. See, I was lucky. I did not tear everything, but I had to go to an orthopedic surgeon a lot because he was like, if you even nicked your Achilles tendon a tiny bit, he's like, that sucker could snap at any time. And every once in a while, I'm like, it's gonna snap. And what I cut my foot with was really thick. It sucked. It was a real bad injury. I have tried that. I don't know. And I've looked for shoes. I forget what is that portion of the shoe is called something. And I've looked for shoes that are like softer back there. Oh no, you have partial tearing. That scares me so much. It's once I find the right thing. But I just get so frustrated. And it's like an expensive endeavor to, I mean, because obviously no cheap shoe isn't going to do it. And I keep thinking, I'm like, I should go to a podiatrist and ask them. But I never do. Because I'm a like flip-flop person anyway. Like I have hot feet. So I always wear flip-flops. But in the cold winter, it does prohibit you a little bit from going places. Because I can't put boots on. Okay, first of all, I can wear shoes. But it starts to bother me. So I don't usually do it. But sometimes I'll put on tennis shoes or whatnot. And the only time it's really an issue is when it's snowing or icy out. Yeah, I think there's some around here too, Grace Case. Or even like I wear Birkenstocks and those are super comfortable. And I went to one store. I mean, it's not as big an issue as I'm making it out to be. It's like an annoying, like I just don't like shoes, so I don't wear them. But also it is frustrating because I can't just go buy whatever shoes. And I was never a huge shoe person anyway, but I mean, sometimes you're like, I just want to go buy tennis shoes and not pretend walk around the store for 2 hours trying to see if it'll irritate me. And a little bit, I think it is partially in my head because I've been frustrated enough by it that now I'm like, all shoes are awful. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, maybe adjust your attitude a bit too. And the older I get, the more I'm like, just wear comfortable shoes, everyone. That's a key to life. Oh no, Oreo Discord. Like I should. Maybe I'll take up the challenge again this winter. We'll see. It is hard finding the right shoe. And once, I don't know. I mean, I like the Birkenstock. I think that is an incredibly comfortable shoe. And I've thought about getting those because you can get fur-lined ones. And I'm like, I bet that would be enough cush on that little plump scar. Exactly, Grace Case. I think there's an age where you're like, oh, Skechers it is. They're comfortable shoes. And a friend of mine has arthritis so bad in her feet that essentially her feet are just broken bones. And all she wears are Skechers. And she went to like a place and got specialty shoes made and special insoles and everything. And she's like, nope, Skechers. And she wears them all the time, like even in her home. What a terrible problem. I want some of those too. I didn't know Skechers was making them, but I saw another brand that makes those that you can just step into them. That's genius. Oh, yeah. Well, that's part of my friend's problem too, because she has a surgery she's considering, but she's like, what do I? And that's, I mean, when I cut my foot, and mine was just one foot, not a huge issue. It was just a cut, but it still took me a long time. And your feet take so much longer to recover because, I mean, you put all your body weight on them, so it just opens whatever wound or incision or pain is there over and over again. Now I feel like I do need to set up Oreo Discord. Ugh. I'm big on... Guys, we're talking depressing again. We're like, listen, this is how my feet and legs are impeding me. There you go, Mousy and Teresa. What a great connection. Discord. Darn it, Discord. I was laughing about you guys in Discord earlier today. And I don't know what made it pop into my mind. But I was like, those suckers. Pressuring. I do know what made it pop into my mind. Because I was thinking about something else. And I was like, another login. Like, I feel like I have too many logins already. I know. It's all easy to set up. But see, it's the downloading of all the apps that gets like it's all I hate all the apps. I hate all the apps on the TV. I don't know. It's a lot. To get a password keeper. Ooh. But it's so much. And I already feel like I'm spending too much time online. It's a very complicated like therapy session that we need to have about my relationship with electronics and technology and passwords. Well, I'm not resistant to it. As I'm like, I don't know, guys, I don't need that. I'm not, but I don't need all of the apps. And like a little bit, I'm letting that crap run my life. And it's so unnecessary. You know, do you guys know what I mean? You're like, no. Like I'm getting on stuff too much. It's I won't pick up my phone for at least 2 hours after I wake up in the morning. I don't know. It's just a lot. And I feel like I'm neglecting the real world and real friendships. Not that these aren't real friendships, but you know what I mean. To like get online. It's very but also I don't like all the apps. Like I hate all the TV apps. That's why I quit watching TV. I'm like, I don't have time for all this. Searching, trying to find crap, and it moves around on you. And people are like, you can't just say, hey, do you watch this show? People are like, what app is it in? I'm like, I have no idea. Just search it on your TV. I get riled up about it. Like it's too much. And I'll tell you this. I miss commercials. Not because I miss being sold stuff, but I did not realize how much I cleaned and did things during commercials because you could run to the bathroom. And I used to like, I'd be like, next commercial break, I'm cleaning the bathroom sink. Like, commercial break after that, I'll take care of the toilet. Commercial break after that. You know, like, now you don't get that. Now you just sit there for 42 minutes with no breaks. See, always grateful. I never had a digital footprint. And now I'm like, I'm everywhere. It's overwhelming. I still don't have Facebook. Or, I mean, I know I can pause it, but also that causes difficulties because sometimes I pause it, which my my commercial break cleaning did too. Because I'd be like, I'm going to run and do the dishes real quick. And then you're like, don't come back for half an hour. but I don't know. I feel like too tied to electronics now. And it's like, I feel like I'm turning them on earlier in the day. What do you mean you have a dumb TV? My TVs are all dumb. I mean, I have TVs all over my house. I have 3 TVs. That's unnecessary. But one of them came with the house, and I cannot get anyone to take it down. I mean, I could pay somebody, but I keep trying to like offering it up. I'm like, you can have this free TV, and everyone's like, no, thank you. I'm like, but free. That's good, Grace Case. You don't want a smart TV. You know those are listening to you, recording you. And people just let that in their house. Makes no sense. Like, why are we okay with everything listening to us? That's when I'm like, all right, maybe I'm a little conspiracy theorist. Okay. That is cute, but also very annoying. Always createful. See, and I don't watch videos on my phone. I listen on my phone, but that also doesn't make sense to me. Like, people watch videos on their phone and their computers. Why? I mean, I guess because all my life, everyone just wanted a bigger TV and a bigger TV and a bigger TV. And now they'll have a giant TV in the same room as them, and they will watch the tiny video on their phone. I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand the world. I know I don't let those. I don't want to say them if anybody has one in their house, but I don't let those in my house. No. I'm like, stay out of my house. Stay out, you listening devices. Even though, I mean, duh, I have a phone right here. I'm on a computer. They know everything about me. But I still have it like all disabled, so nothing can get to my apps and whatnot. As much disabled as you can. And I don't keep email on my phone. Nothing. But also because there's like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's a complex situation. Oh, it's creative. That is cute. He just wants to come share it with you. Yeah, I feel like I have too many apps on my phone now. I mean, I still probably have less than the average person, but. And now tonight I'm going to go through and delete a whole bunch. I'm like, you watch the phone? See, I can't stand watching stuff on my phone. But I also don't have the giant phone. I have just a regular size phone. Because how do you carry the giant phone around? These are my issues, everyone. Like, the giant phone hurts your hands to use. It's too big. And it does not fit in your pockets. How do you carry that with you? So I just have a regular size phone. I mean, your phone is a computer, so you have have a computer, Teresa. That's impressive. I don't carry a purse. And I'm not getting a purse just to carry my phone. I refuse. Good luck, Mousy. I sleepwalk too, but only when I'm exhausted. Yeah, sometimes I do put them in my bra. But I just like my phone in my pocket. I don't like to carry stuff with me. I hate hauling stuff around. I'm not, and anytime I carry a purse, I just carry stuff I do not need with me. So I don't carry one. Although I do have a backpack that sometimes I incorporate. And I do, if I go to like the grocery store or whatever, I have a medicine bag. Messenger bag that I carry. But that's just so I can put my groceries in it. So that's my tip, my trick. Yeah, I've never been a purse person. I don't know why. I mean, because the only things I carry with me are like my chapstick, my debit card and ID, and my phone. I guess keys, but that all fits in your pocket. Or you can leave like the stuff in your car. I don't know. I'm a simple person. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't even have a wallet. I just put a ponytail holder around my cards, which I need to swap out. No, ma'am, what? Grace Case, I love to declutter. I mean, I love it. I've decluttered my house so much that now I am down to all the stuff that I actually love. So each purge is now harder, if you know what I mean. Like, except for that vase I'm looking at right now, he can go immediately. Yeah, you're correct. Leaving crap in your car. I mean, same here. But I also tend to not be the driver. Like, everyone just knows to pick me up. And I mean, someone's been breaking into cars in our neighborhood. But I think more they're just doing like door pops where they come around and see if you left it unlocked. Little do they know. Although I do have crap in my car. I need to empty it out because I find furniture on the side of the road. And I bring it home and I keep trying, like, which is cool and fine. And that's a great way to make some cash or fix up my house. But I really need to get rid of all the stuff that I have right now. Grace case. I'm okay. This is, first of all, this is my passion area. Get ready for this conversation. So, I am not, I never was a maximalist, but like every year I get more and more like I want less stuff because I don't want to take care of stuff, if that makes sense. Like if I bring it into my house, I have to clean it, I have to maintain it. So I'm like, no. But I also don't want to live with nothing. But I have been, so I don't know, years ago I was like, I have too much stuff, I think. Like, and I still don't think I have as much as the average person. But I've been like going through, and my first goal was to get rid of 50% of the stuff in my house, and I 100% surpassed that. So now every time I do it, I'm like 50%, but I don't think I can get to 50% again. I think I've like reached my benchmark, but now I'm down to weird, like I have these wine glasses that I love, but I do not use them. I mean, I don't use them. So I packed them up. They're in a box in my living room, like waiting to be donated. But I still like walk by them. I'm like, I don't know. I want those wine glasses. I have not used them in years. There is no reason to keep them. But so I've been going room by room. And my whole goal, this is my whole super goal, is to have everything in my house have a place where it belongs. Like I read somewhere, if you find a fork in your house, everyone knows where that fork goes. And I thought, I'm like, yes. So I've been super organizing and getting rid of the kitchen stuff I don't use, like the wine glasses. Unloading my dishwasher takes less than a minute now because I have my cabinets so locked down and so well organized and placed. I mean, it's amazing. It's still blows my mind. And I did that like a good year or two ago. And every time I unload the dishwasher, I'm like, boom, that was 30 seconds. Like that was amazing. And I created an electronics drawer in my desk. And that is where all my batteries are, all my cords are. And I go through it on a regular basis and test all the cords and chargers and make sure they work. And make sure I still have the product that it goes with. You know, like I have one cord in there right now. And when I found him, I didn't know what he belonged to. So I told him he could have a little time in the drawer. And if I encountered something that needs, I just realized what he goes to. Okay. But he can be purged because I don't need him. But it's like been amazing. Like every pin in my house, I don't have them in random drawers or anything. One drawer only. But I always know where they are. And they all work. It is awesome, Teresa. It's a slow project though. Because it took me a long time. And like I'm a purger, so I purge on a regular basis anyway. But then I like upped it to be like cuckoo purging organized. And I always say my goal is a little bit for if you came to my house and opened a cabinet, you'd be like, this gal's nuts. But when I pick up my house now, you know, I'll think like, man, my living room is a mess. And it is so quick to clean up. It's amazing. So I encourage everyone to get that way. And I will help you. Because I also think stuff is meant to be used. Like, it's not meant, it's wasting so many resources rotting away in a closet or in your basement. Like, if it's in your house, it should be used. And I do consider like a decorative thing is being used, but it's not being used if you have it shoved in a cabinet or something. And then it's all just garbage that you're leaving for somebody else to take care of when you die. So, well, but you can, I mean, here's the issue. You don't have to purge it all in one day or one weekend. No, nothing will happen where I need them to. I mean, I have glasses. You don't. I've had those for years. But see, I'll do like, I don't know, do like one cabinet at a time, or one. Like sometimes when I'm watching a stream, I'll be like, I'm gonna clean out my sock drawer, and I do my whole sock drawer or whatever. I mean, I think a truly deep purge takes a year, if not longer. And I also think everyone should do a truly deep purge, and then you go back and you do it again, and then go back and do it again. Because you're going to find stuff every time. Like what I'm down to now is the stuff where I'm like, oh, I really like this. And then I put it back into a closet, close the door, and don't use it. So I'm like, it's time to go. And another thing you can do is there's a company, and well, the veterans, I think they're everywhere. They'll pick up from your front porch. So all you have to do is set your stuff on your front porch. And this year I'm going through all my Christmas stuff. I'm like, you're out of here. Get out of here. Everything. And I don't have a huge amount to begin with, but the room I'm in right now, I have 4 sconces on the wall, and I took 2 of them down because I'm like, these sconces are out of here. And I like I could tell that I was walking by one day and was like, nope, I don't like these anymore. Yeah, the veterans are awesome. Rain or shine, you set your stuff out on your front porch or wherever you want. You can pick and they can pick it up off your porch. It's the best. So I keep in my entryway closet, I have a box on the floor. And like after I read a book or if I'm doing laundry and I'm like, I don't like this shirt anymore, I'll go put it in that box. And the nice part about that is too, it's good with like kitchen stuff. Like Teresa said, you'll need those wine glasses as soon as you get rid of them. But you can put stuff in there and have it be like, I think I don't need this anymore. And only one time did I get back into it, into that box. And it was because my dishwasher overflowed and flooded my kitchen. So I had to get all the towels out of that box to clean up the flood. But I mean, even if you had to get something back out of it, then you'd be like, oh, good. I know that I still actually am using this item. And then anytime it's full, or what happens too is the veterans start sending you a card and they'll go, hey, we're going to be in your neighborhood on Tuesday. And then if they send that, I always take one kitchen trash bag, which isn't that big. And I'm like, I know I can fill this up with stuff from my house. And even if you fill it halfway, that's still just a few items you're getting out of your house. So I'd do it. And I was like, stop yourself, because I will talk about this forever. And I'm really joking about going into my true lecture about how we live in our houses. I just think people have too much stuff around them and they don't realize how stressful that is and what that's doing to them. Yeah, Grace case. It's amazing. Just do one little drawer at a time, one cabinet. And then I am too. I just looked at the time. But I got riled up with my purging. And also my computer is at the end of its battery life. So it's time to shut it down, guys. I feel like this was a productive night. We did some therapy. And then I didn't know what that means. I thought Bowie said one cat. And then we ended with me ranting about my favorite thing, purging. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. And I will talk to you soon.